welcome to this video on the recently just ended, obviously, Olympics, and really going into the boxing around the Olympics, what I think will happen in the future, things I think should be changed for the future, and overall what has happened in the Olympics. So getting into it, obviously Paris Olympic Games, obviously very good Olympic Games. Really, one controversy that it has actually happened from the games really is the boxing and all this, using their own boxing body to, obviously the previous boxing body they used to use back in the day. I think the last two, Tokyo 2020, which was actually in 2021 because of COVID, and Paris 2024, obviously they use their own dedicated boxing commission, really, because the one previously used, which is really the one that, in a sense was used for years upon years, is has very strong links to Russia, and obviously Russia not being allowed and being sanctioned not to be in the games means they will not be using them. And really, it's part of there's some issues there, I think, with this, what we're doing now. Obviously, in the female boxing, there's a big thing about obviously not doing true gender testing, and all these tests that usually would have been done back in the past haven't been done, and really just looking at a passport to check, are you the gender you say you are? I won't really be getting into that. I think it's a very hard topic. It's not clear cut and easy to talk about, unless you are scientific, and also the test results haven't come out at all. There's a load of speculation around it. Getting into the other parts, really, where we're basically allowing, in boxing, it always has been really a place where amateurs come up, win, and when they win, they get a lot of people, in their country and other countries, because the whole world is looking, supporting them and wanting them to turn pro, and that really pushes them up, gives them some money as well to push them on, and probably gets them a pro to like Eddie Hearn or whatever, to get them into the pro scene and get them some good pay behind that. And that's what it really was all about. Now we've got people coming in who have had quite a few pro fights, going back into the Olympics to defend medals, sorry, not belts, but it's all a bit confusing. I remember back in the day, AJ winning the Olympics, and then going pro, and that was him. That's how he built his stardom, went pro from the Olympics, had the whole nation supporting him and willing him on, and that's how he got a lot of fans back in the day when he was first starting out as a pro. So that's the way it sort of happened. Now you've got pros going back into the Olympics to fight for medals, and it seems to be that's changing. We're going to see professional level boxers in the Olympics going back in and defending medals. And really, it's weird, because you'll get a certain level of pro who will do that, and it won't be your Tyson Fury, it won't be your AJs going into the Olympics. It will be a certain level of pro of people who have just had probably 20-30 pro fights maximum, and it's not going sort of, or it's just less enough for them to go back into it, but they are a professional level. And I think it's scary, because it just becomes that the amateurs have nowhere to sort of go. They go to the Olympics, they know they're going to go against pros who've had many, many pro fights, and it just sort of stagnates them sort of, the whole process of getting boxers into the Olympics, winning the Olympics, gaining some fandom, and having that amateur scene around boxing to turn people pro, and to actually have something that an amateur can aim for. and make some money from, make some amateurs aren't paid well, and the whole point of the Olympics is to display, for the boxing side anyway, for me, is to display the amateurs, and the best amateur wins, and he goes on to make a lot, and some of the amateurs in there who get far will do well for themselves and be able to push on and go pro. I think it just destroys it. I think honestly, you're just going to get a load of pros who, and I think it will be the pros who don't make it as far as I think they should do, and they want to go back into the Olympics in 4 years, and try to get back that medal, to get their name back out there, and it's tough, because I think I don't think that is what it is now, but you're soon going down a slippery slope. And soon it will just be pros just trying to win a medal, and it sort of stagnates that sort of amateur push through to the pros that you naturally have. Also coming up, obviously 2028 will be Los Angeles. Obviously that's being a great Olympic Games, or should be, but obviously boxing, with all this controversy, just so, and this may be a bit of news to people, but boxing isn't actually on the schedule yet for Los Angeles. But guess what? It doesn't mean it may not be. Some things aren't confirmed, and it could well be. But when they're making that decision, some it's not confirmed yet. They still have to make a decision, yes or no. After looking at the Paris Olympics, with all this controversy, all this, people, I don't think there's any more controversy. The boxing was the main one, and I just think I don't think Los Angeles actually put boxing on, and I think it's terrible for the boxers, and it's especially terrible for the amateurs, because the amateur cycle, you could be going through the amateurs and building yourself up and building up for that. You're going to get to the age and ability at 2028, and that's what you're aiming for, Olympics 2028, and actually that's gone, and you don't know when it's going to come back, and that is a scary thing. You're going to just get people at that sort of top end of the amateurs who are just going to have to try and turn pro, just grab a promoter wherever they can and get professional. Because there's no way they can get, if it doesn't happen in Los Angeles, they've got to wait another 4 years, which is another 4 years off their career, because, to be at the top of boxing, there's not many years where you've got that level to stay up there. How many people stay at that top level for more than 15 years? Not many, and how many actually get to that level anyway? But you haven't got many years to earn that money, especially if you're not at that top level. If you're at that top level, look, you're earning enough per fight, it doesn't really make a difference. But at sort of the professional level, where you're not the sort of superstar, it becomes a problem where you've got to be getting them fights in to make that money over your career, because that career ends very quickly. And waiting another 4 years to maybe have boxing in the Olympics to try and win a gold, no one's going to do it. It's just going to destroy the amateur cycle, and it will just wreck what the boxing cycle we have, to allow them amateurs to turn pro and get behind them and support them, and really get some fans for that professional debut and their start of their professional career. I think it's scary. I think it's very scary. I don't think that's on. If I'm totally honest, as a fan of boxing, I don't think, if I'm looking at it objectively, do I think boxing comes back for Los Angeles? It doesn't. It really doesn't. I think there's too much controversy with, obviously there's the female boxing that's happening. There's some things about the judges, where they've allowed judges who've been, sort of accused of, they've had tests done where they've sort of, and the tests haven't really come out of what these tests are, but tests of, are they judging right? Are they correctly judging? Have they got, are they doing it out of their own interest? Basically, are they doing stuff where they are judging, and wanting a fighter to win, which is totally against, obviously, the idea of being a judge, especially in boxing. And some of these judges have failed in the past, and they are coming back in the Olympics because we haven't got that. We've made a new Olympic version of the commission, and they're just allowing these judges back and not having that sort of, when they've been banned by another commission, that's fine. But to be honest, you do your own research and figure it out that actually, is it really correct we should be allowing them people back in? Obviously not, judging, because they're instantly going to be doing the same thing as what they always were. So I think boxing Olympic sense is in the worst place it's ever been after this Olympics. I think it's got so much controversy. I think there's so many errors the Olympics overall have done with this commission. They haven't really set it up. I think they've had very little. They've had 4 years from Tokyo, but they haven't really thought about what they're gonna put it for. They're allowing pros to come back, which is not the purpose of the boxing in the Olympics, or what people thought it was. And I think you're just gonna the controversy you've generated now with not actually having full, and it all comes back to not having full laid out rules and guidelines that are basically universal across every pro boxing commission. I think that's the point. I think you have so many boxing commissions that literally just do it all the time. If you're new, one thing you do is just copy a bit of their. If they've got a rule, they have it for a reason. They've been doing it for years. Learn off the experts, and they haven't done. They've just gone off and done their own thing, and they've just pushed in so much controversy into the sport. And the honest fact at the end of the day is, who do we feel sorry for? It's the amateurs coming through now. The amateurs looking at 2028 and the future. It could not be there. And I think even them guys, think about your career, guys, because the Olympics isn't the stepping stone anymore. That's not what you've got to be aiming for. And so people's idea of a career and what they've all been aiming for, and all these academies and boxing academies that have been generated to push people to the Olympics and then turn them pro, they've got to rethink their whole thing. And really, will it push people away from boxing? Yes, it will. I think the Olympics generates a lot of non-boxing fans interest into boxing, and it just kills it instantly. I think the normal average person who doesn't watch boxing all the time may watch the boxing because of the Olympics. Same with all the other sports, guaranteed. But it will it will cause these amateurs to be able to, there's no way of earning money. You've got to do something incredible in the amateurs to get a pro license and pro fight, and that just becomes a lot of these young people, women and men, if you're 14, 15, looking at you're looking at going towards the Olympics, and say that you could be, say, 8 years away, so 2 games away. If it doesn't happen in Los Angeles, it could be in 3 games, say 2 or 3 games, but if it doesn't happen in Los Angeles, so you're going to bet the next 4 to 8 years that it will do. Them years are really crucial in your life to make sure you make certain decisions to benefit your future. And if you've got to rethink your plans, I don't think anyone's going to go all in. Is really the thing on the Olympics coming back with boxing. So I think boxing Olympics is in the worst place. I think overall, does it need to go away and reshape itself? I think to be honest, they need to figure out how they're going to look at the rulings they've got, how they sort of commission this, how they sort of make sure we're all playing fair in it. We've got some tight control around everything, including judging and judges that are allowed in. How do we test it? How do we test the judges are being fair? I think it's just in the worst place where it does need to go away. But again, on the flip side of that, a lot of people's hopes and dreams are betting on the boxing being in the Olympics, and that's just fact. Young people's dreams and whole careers are really based on there being the Olympic Games that they can really shine in, and it won't. I don't think it will be there, and it's just a devastating thing for them guys to probably feel themselves. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But yeah, really sad, I think, day in the time of boxing, and at the time of boxing in the Olympics in that amateur scene. I think there's some dark days ahead if it doesn't go to Los Angeles. And I think that's going to be a massive problem. But please like, subscribe if you want some more boxing content or MMA content. And I'll see you next time.